Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you own a BMW or an Audi, or really any modern European car, you might have seen this dreaded code pop up on your scanner P2187 system to lean at idle. Bank one. It's one of those codes that can really make your heart sink a little. But don't worry, today we're going to break it down and show you how to tackle it like a pro. So, what are the telltale signs you're dealing with a P2187? The most obvious one is an unstable or rough idle. You might feel your car shaking or sputtering when you're stopped at a light. Another big symptom is a lazy or slow throttle response. You press the gas pedal, and it feels like the car takes a moment to think before it starts to accelerate. You might also notice your fuel economy taking a nosedive. All of these point to your engine running lean, which means it's getting too much air and not enough fuel in the air-fuel mixture, specifically at idle. Now, let's get into the diagnosis. The term to lean almost always screams unmetered air. This is air that's getting into your engine after the mass airflow sensor, or MIF sensor. The MIF sensor's job is to measure the air coming in so the engine computer, or ECU, can inject the right amount of fuel. When extra unmeasured air sneaks in, the ECU doesn't know about it. The mixture becomes lean, and boom, you get the P2187 code. So, our first mission is to find that leak. This is where a smoke test becomes your best friend. A smoke machine pumps low-pressure smoke into your intake system. Wherever you see smoke puffing out, that's your leak. Common culprits are cracked or disconnected vacuum hoses. These rubber and plastic lines get brittle over time due to heat and age. Check every single one, especially the small, hidden ones. Look for cracks, splits, or hoses that have popped off their fittings. Another massive suspect, especially on BMWs and Audis, is the PCV system. That's the positive crankcase ventilation system. Its job is to vent gases from the engine's crankcase back into the intake to be burned off. The key component here is the PCV valve or oil separator. When it files, it can create a massive internal vacuum leak, letting unmetered air directly into the intake manifold. On many VAG engines, like the 2.0T, the PCV valve is a common failure point. On BMWs, it's often called the CCV, or crankcase ventilation valve, and it's equally prone to failure, often with a torn internal diaphragm. A quick test is to try and remove the oil cap while the engine is idling. If there's a very strong suction making it hard to remove, your PCV valve is likely bad. Let's move on to other potential sources. The intake manifold gasket itself can fail, creating a leak between the manifold and the cylinder head. The throttled body gasket is another possibility. Even the O-rings on your fuel injectors can dry out and leak air. Don't forget to inspect the main intake boot, the large flexible tube that connects the airbox and MOF sensor to the throttle body. These can develop tears, especially in the accordion-like flexible sections. If you've done a thorough smoke test and found absolutely no leaks, what's next? It's time to consider the fuel side of the equation. While less common for an idle-only lean code, a weak fuel pump or a clogged fuel filter could potentially restrict fuel flow just enough to cause an issue at low RPM. You can check fuel pressure with a gauge to rule this out. Finally, let's talk about sensors. Could the mass airflow sensor itself be the problem? It's possible. If the MAF sensor is dirty or failing, it might underreport the amount of air entering the engine, causing the ECU to inject too little fuel. You can try cleaning it with a dedicated MOF sensor cleaner. Spraying ever-use brake cleaner. If cleaning doesn't help, and you've exhausted all other possibilities, replacing the MOF sensor might be the solution. Similarly, a failing front oxygen sensor, also known as an O2 sensor or lambda sensor, could be sending incorrect readings to the ECU, tricking it into thinking the mixture is fine when it's actually lean. However, this usually throws other specific O2 sensor codes as well. So, to recap the fix, start by performing a smoke test. Repair any and all vacuum leaks you find by replacing cracked hoses or securing loose connections. Pay very close attention to the PCV system. Replacing the PCV valve is often the cure for P2187. If leaks are fixed and the problem persists, inspect intake gaskets and injector seals. As a final step, consider cleaning or replacing your MOF sensor. Dealing with a P2187 code is a process of elimination. Be patient and methodical. Start with the most common and easiest things to check, and you'll find that leak and get your car running smoothly again. I hope this guide helps you diagnose and fix that pesky lean code. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more DIY repair guides. Let me know in the comments if you've battled this code and what the fix was for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.